Hey guys, I'm just going to make sure I can share this over to the group. Now, why are they timeless principles? Because it doesn't matter if you're online, it doesn't matter if things are face-to-face. There's so many principles that are the same to do with growing your business in any market, I think. I guess unless you're purely selling products online and you don't have to have anything to do with other human beings at all. And I'm so passionate about this topic because it really is an amazing job, as you guys know. Hang on a sec, let's just make sure I can share that over to the group and we'll get started in a minute. This is going to be the next book. There's like 10 topics, or actually 10 topics on these actual principles are going to be my next book anyway. It's exciting. So some stuff like, I've come up with the ideas so far of actually never compromise on quality, always be the best in customer service, and also the best in getting results that you can possibly actually be. So it's important to know what you're doing, and if you don't know what you're doing, one of the fastest ways to get to know what you're doing is actually to hire another coach. Now, I don't mean hire me as a mentor. What I mean is get a personal trainer. If you haven't had a personal trainer before, get a personal trainer. Why haven't you used a personal trainer before? One of the reasons that I have done so much specific training in the Czech and Poliquin and gone and done massage and anyway, is because there are people that I've actually learnt from myself. So let me just share this over to the group. I'm such a boy, I can't multitask. I can't share this over to the group while I'm talking to you. Hang on a sec. All right, we're done. Now, timeless principles. Timeless meaning it doesn't matter if you don't have Snapchat. It doesn't matter if someone's going to be reading this piece of advice or this book or this blog post in 5 years or 10 years. The principles should remain the same, because even though the way we're communicating is different and it's changing in the way our information is reaching people, the business transactions and the transactions of how you are and how you conduct yourself as a person, the way you build relationships, all that stuff really does get to be the same. It's just that social media allows you to magnify it in a massive, massive way. So never compromise on quality. Treat the marketing as well as seriously as you treat getting people results. If there's one thing that actually makes me really sad, it's that I personally know I've got so many great friends in this industry, especially having a Czech background or Poliquin background, that so many of my friends that are coaches don't spend any time or effort or I guess desire in marketing themselves, because they think that if they just get good at getting people results, then they will get a good business. And you will, that is so true. However, it's going to take at least 5 years. 5 years of people getting to know you, 5 years of, people in the neighborhood referring to you, of Betty telling her friends and her friends telling her friends, and for the word to spread. And that's if you don't move location. So guys, if you've just jumped on, give me because I can't see who's on there, let me know how long you've actually been a trainer for, because I think these are timeless principles. And if you've been a trainer for more than 5 years, I think it's really, really time for you to knuckle down on the marketing so that you do actually get more clients. And if you've been a trainer for less than 12 months, it really is probably time just to get really, really good at your craft, get really, really good at getting people results. Don't worry so much about becoming an online trainer. All that stuff's everywhere. The illusion that, it's going to be easy to be an online trainer. If you don't know how to coach someone to get results, then you're not going to know how to be an online trainer. How is that even possible? It's like doing a psychology course that goes for a couple of months and then becoming a psychologist. If you don't know how to create the transaction and actually get somebody to implement your program, then that's a rant for a whole nother time. And you probably know. So let me know how long you've actually been a trainer for if you're on there. There's a couple of other articles I want to link to as well. So treating the marketing as seriously as you actually treat getting the person's results, obviously, is really important. Allowing yourself to delegate is another one of the points that I want to talk about. Outsourcing, a really good rule of thumb to outsource is that obviously you're not going to be good at everything. Obviously you're not going to be, possibly you're not going to be good at administration. Most trainers I speak to don't love the administration or the business side or the finances side. Sometimes they don't even like the marketing and sales side. Now, marketing and sales, I have to say, that's the last thing to outsource. However, the business and the admin and the finance, as long as you know and you keep an eye on things and you know basically what's going on, and this actually includes technology as well. So getting better at technology or creating a website or making some graphics for a pretty poster, all that stuff. You might like mucking around on Canva, but anything that you can get somebody else to do for a lesser rate per hour than what you earn yourself, you need to do it, because you are not made of time. You don't have that much time. It does become exhausting if you try to do all the things. It's very hard to grow if you try to do all the things. You have to learn to outsource and trust that other people can do stuff. So if it's got to do with finance and admin or tech stuff or anything, you must know the lingo so that then you can teach somebody else how to do it. So you have to know how to do the job. It doesn't mean that you have to do it forever. That is definitely one of the steps, and I'm going to go into detail in that in the blog post that I create with this actual article that I'm giving you the overview of, which is going to be the 10 points to creating an amazing business. It's important, on the flip side, talking about getting results with clients, it's important that you measure the client's success. I was only talking about this to one of my girls the other day who's now using one of the apps, I think maybe PT Minder or something. And you know those apps where you guys can actually measure the person and show them the programs and all that stuff. I'm not sure if Trainerize does it this way. That's probably the most popular and best functioning from what most of you guys have said. Now, if the person doesn't see their results, so if you get girls in often and they want to lose size and you're not measuring them for one, or you are measuring them and you're not showing them results because they've got to log into the app for whatever reason, total waste of time, because if you're not measuring them and they're not seeing it, they don't understand that they're even getting results. So why would they consistently come back? Okay, they like you, but realistically, they're paying you for results. So get them results and show them that you're getting them results. So selling them and explaining to them how things are progressing or not progressing so that they can actually take accountability and responsibility for why, or you can have that uncomfortable conversation with them about why they're not getting their results. But that's your job as a coach, to make them accountable, to get them results. It really is that simple, isn't it? Which brings me to the next point. Know where your knowledge ends and someone else's potentially begins, and that is how you can grow your network of professionals for you to be able to refer on. So this is a really big thing of mine, and over the years as I've moved lots of locations, it's actually one of the ways that I've grown a lot, because I don't pretend to know everything about whatever that person's issue might be, but I love finding other practitioners who I can then send the client to. Now, there's several reasons why to do it, but what I want you to know is not to set that relationship up expecting for the person to refer back to you, because they probably won't. All I want you to do, and just get over it, okay? It's not that big a deal. The end goal is that the client gets results, then you've done your job. The good thing about if you actually do refer to practitioners is, one, I wrote all this down while I was on the plane for today. It gets the clients faster results, really, really fast results. And that's what they're trusting and paying you for, right? It builds your credibility and trust fast from the clients, kind of like a byproduct. It's not really why you should do something, but it is a really, really good benefit. The opportunity to learn from the practitioner that you're referring to. So call a practitioner, have a conversation and say, my client Betty is seeing you. She has XYZ problem. Can we discuss her progress, what you'd like me to do and not do such and such? So when I was always calling the practitioner, you know, presumably they've got a degree in whatever it is that their modality they're treating the person in, or even if they're a counsellor or whatever, I would take the back foot and pretend that I definitely knew less. So it's not coming across that I know more and this is how we're going to treat Betty. It's, hey, so what can you tell me about Betty? Is there anything that you'd like me to do or not do, so that, I'm on the phone here, pretended anyway. So is there anything you'd like me to do or not do so that we can help her get her goals faster, because it is all about the client getting their goals faster. And there's nothing, I think, more confusing than a poor client actually, you know, seeing this practitioner and then on a Wednesday going to that person, on a Thursday coming to you, and every single one of you are saying different things to the client. How confusing, when I see that you're all supposed to be on the same side, right? And it's the client side. So, and I guess it's the client's responsibility. I've always taken it upon myself to contact the other practitioners and get everyone together to work on that project of the client. And it just makes more sense and it feels better. And then the client's eternally grateful because they've often not had that happen, right? But it's the project of their health. And then at the end of the day, the solutions that you present to them are up to them to decide. But at least you're not all saying different things, because that's confusing. You know, there's nothing worse than, you know what it's like if you've experienced, you know, a surgeon or a physio or a chiro say something and you'll think, no, that's, when did that person study exercise? Because that's not relevant. You know, they might have had arthritis diagnosed 20 years ago, but it's not there now. I'm sure Johnny will be able to move his knee if he loosens those muscles or whatever. So ask the practitioner to share information. Okay, getting out of that. Now, you can learn from doing that. You can get credibility and trust from the client. Don't expect referrals back, but that will help build your network of professionals for you to be able to actually send people out. I suppose it gains trust from the client because, even for example, last week I had a really old client from, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago email me, and I actually couldn't remember where she was from. But it was so beautiful that she was emailing me to ask me questions because she remembered whatever the impact was that I had on her life, and that I would give her unbiased information, because I do often refer out to other professionals. Anyway, back on the flip side of marketing again. For you as an expert or even a non-expert, it doesn't really matter. Whatever it is that you're interested in, you have to get your message out there. And unfortunately, you need to get rid of that feeling that you're hiding, or what are people going to think of me if I post something on my personal page? Oh my God, they're going to unfriend me. Really? What do you really think is going to happen? What is going to happen? I'll tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, what was I doing? And I remember I did a video, quite a sad video. I was really sad. I think I might have even clearly have been crying in the video. And it was because I was tired, or I was whinging a lot in the video. I said, like, I'm tired and I ate ice cream last night, and I just want to let you know that when you do that, it's okay. And, you know, everything will be all right. These are the things that I do the next day to make myself feel better and know that I'm tired and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, one of my girlfriends who saw it online sent me a message and said, she sent me a message. She said, Kate, if you're eating ice cream, why don't you just stop eating ice cream? Just stop eating ice cream. I don't need to see videos about you eating ice cream. It's not important. I said, and I wrote back to her and said, yeah, I know for sure. But listen, babe, I sell myself online. I sell my programs online. It means that when somebody actually does have a conversation with me because they've seen my videos or whatever content it is that that person resonates with, in that case, eating ice cream or eating bad food or whatever, then I never have a cold conversation with a client, because it's like they know me. So you sharing whatever content you can come up with to help your audience is actually helping them to know, like, and trust you. I put it in inverted commas because the marketing industry has coined that term, and I freaking hate it, because we all know that that's how relationships work, right? You get to know someone, you like them, you trust them, whatever. I hate the phrase though. It sounds smarmy, but it's not. It is actually real, and it does help the fact that you won't then have a cold call. I haven't had a cold call probably, I don't remember when, maybe 7-8 years ago. 8 years ago. Stella was about 2. No, 9 years ago. She was 1. Because I wasn't on social much then. So it's only like relatively new for me as well, and it doesn't really take that long. But you have to start, and you have to be not so scared to get your message out there. And by the way, when I said to my girlfriend, oh babe, actually don't worry about it, I sell myself online, this girlfriend of mine actually owns a restaurant, beautiful girl. I said, listen, if you want to talk to me, don't watch my videos, just call me. And she said, oh, okay. And that was it. Like, people don't, if people have unfriended me, I don't know. And why would I care? Anyone who actually has created content online will tell, and done it consistently for a while, at least a couple of weeks, will tell you about the traction that they get. Every single person of mine that's done it knows by about week 6, they don't know where they're getting their inquiries from. I can tell you where they're getting their inquiries from. If you've got any questions about that, let me know. Now, another topic that's important. Creative ideas. Let the business and your coaching and your packages come from within you. And what do I mean? I mean, if you just had all the money in the world, how would you actually like to service clients? How would it be fun? And then make sure you have different levels of packages. If you've listened to or read any of my stuff, you know I'm always talking about packages, and I don't mean have a 5-pack, have a 10-pack, have a 15-pack, have a 20-pack of PT. That's not what I mean. When I say, when you have a pack of PT, it means you're responsible for delivering the session, right? For the half an hour, that hour, or whatever. What I mean is have something where they pay for something thousands of dollars at a time. It could be 6 months, 12 months of training, a retreat, any kind of package, a whole series of workshops. It doesn't really matter, but it's something of a high price point that doesn't require you to do 500 hours of one-on-one personal training. There's a massive point there. I'm going to go into depth in that in the book. And if you're on my email list, you will get notified first before it even gets published, and I will make sure I send out chapter by chapter by chapter by chapter. And to get on that list, I'll put the link in the comments here, or you go to katemartinmentor.com and then click download the free gift, which at the moment is a video series of how to actually do seminars. Outsourcing, we talked about that. Measure success and make sure your clients renew. The creative ideas and creating big packages actually brings me to the point of being worth more than your hourly rate, because you so are anyway. So try to get your brain around not limiting yourself to your hourly rate, because it really doesn't have anything to do with what you're worth. It's a really interesting conversation that I have with people when we're first starting together, and I'll say, okay, what's the goal? And we'll go through, what are you actually worth financially per hour? And what are the goals to earn financially on an annual basis? And it's important for me to measure both. And it's interesting, the responses that I get. Because say, for example, somebody has come from a prior job, like teaching, hairdressing, or even I had one girl, she used to be a lawyer. Or no, she wasn't a lawyer. No, she was qualified as a lawyer though. But how we frame what our annual salary cap's worth, and how it's quite interesting is not many people can see above the 80 to 100K mark because they don't know. Now, anyone that's had, again, any level of success will tell you that they actually simply just chose it. They don't know how to do it. The knowing actually will appear, and you will find people that will help you on the way. You really will. But unless you choose it, it's not going to happen. So don't be wishy-washy about what it is you actually want. Don't be wishy-washy at all. And I hope that's helped, so that you can get a hold of the first couple of chapters of this book and an expansion on the 10-point article of creating a remarkable and profitable PT business, regardless of the social media times. Make sure you subscribe to that link that I'll put in the comments, and have an awesome Sunday. Go and see how much marketing you can do and helping your niche this week, and reach more people. And ask me if you've got any questions later.